And then we grew on each other. Like, you know, and it's like as soon as we started getting close and attached to her, she just all of a sudden had the heart attack. It's like, wow, like, it sucks.
All right, so we're gonna rock and roll today. Today we are gonna talk about how we manipulate ourselves. I think it's very important for us to start learning how we're doing things to prevent ourselves from succeeding rather than thinking things are happening to us, right? My name is Mike. My action word is the same every single day. If y'all don't know what it is, it's transparency. Reason being, secrets are like anchors on a boat. What does an anchor do for the boat?
Keeps it in place.
Keeps it in place. The secrets that I'm talking about are not the things you did in your active addiction. You know, we're all going to fucking go to the grave with secrets. The secrets I'm talking about is whatever you're going through, whatever you're thinking, and whatever you're feeling. Those three things we can no longer keep a secret. You just can't. They're going to anchor. You're going to be able to find something to replace you not having to talk about it or deal with it. That thing is going to be suffice, right, for a short amount of time, and then it's not, and whatever we were running from or not sharing with people, the feeling of loneliness is now isolation. The feeling of not worthiness is now me getting high. Why? Because I allowed it to stay in my mind. One way or another, we're going to have to start figuring out how to share some of these things we're going through. Through somebody, through art, through music, through writing, through speaking, whatever it is. There's a lot of forms of expression when it comes to, expressing yourself. Some life lessons. Where is it real quick? Day. So what are some of the things that you might be doing for yourself every now and then that are good for yourself? What are some of those things that you're doing every now and then that you could start doing every day? Praying, good. It doesn't have to be these big things. I actually prefer the little ones. There's a lot of things we're doing good for ourselves every now and then. How do I know that? You're still here. So there's things that you're doing for yourself, whether you think so or not, that are good. Because you're still here. Based on your track record, if it's like mine, you're usually gone by now. If it's like me, you're usually the fuck out of. You might have even came back 2 times already in the amount of time you've been here, if you're like me. Right? I had a lot of visits. 1 month, I think 3 or 4. Right? And boom, 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 get my little something, get a little sabbat, get a little something. Feel right, cool, got some money, cool, let's go. I'll see y'all in a week. Right? I'm going to go have fun. Right? So, what is something, it's rhetorical, you don't have to say, what is something you're doing every now and then that you could start doing every day, right? So most people use manipulation to make someone else do what they want, right? I'm telling you what you want to hear so I can get something out of you that I need, right? But we're all afraid to be manipulated. The truth is that we all use manipulation to our advantage. All of us. We're afraid to be manipulated, right? When we get manipulated, we get pissed the fuck off. When in reality, we're also manipulated. Sometimes we do it on purpose. Other times it's subconscious human defense mechanism. Anybody agree that manipulation could actually be a defense mechanism?
Yeah.
Can anybody identify how maybe they might have used manipulation as a defense mechanism?
As a child, when you're being yelled at, when you make the face, that's a form of manipulation. Children learn it at a very early age, how to manipulate their parents into getting what they want.
Yes, we do.
We learn it early, and it's innocuous, meaning
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So we don't, yes. A lot of my lying was because I didn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was so afraid of that it just made me do it, and I actually made more of a problem because I didn't want to get hit. I actually made bigger problems for myself. Not that I was like crazily, physically abused. I just didn't like getting hit. You know what I'm saying?
But another thing, the media manipulates us into the behaviors.
Oh, 100%.
Because we mirror what we see on TV. So as a child, you see people to stay out of trouble. You learn that it's not inherent to people like that.
Media manipulates our insecurities and says we're not good enough because of the things, our insecurities. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. But then they go around and try to give us, but you deserve everything. But wait, you're not good enough. If you have this, and this, then you'll get that. So happiness doesn't sell. I say it all the time. A lot of companies would go bankrupt if they didn't make money off our insecurities. A lot of companies. A lot of companies. A lot of pharmaceutical companies too. Because a lot of people are depressed and all that shit because of how the world is like pouring into them. Whatever's coming into them. A lot of us are depressed, and a lot of us, just because of what's coming in. That's why I don't watch television. I'm not telling you not to watch television.
Garbage out.
Right? I'm not telling you not to watch television. For some of us, it's a good coping mechanism, right? It's a good place. For me personally, my mind dives too deep into shit. Way too deep. I watch conspiracy theory, it's fucking over. I'm walking around with aluminum foil around my head and all that type of shit. That's how deep I get into shit. And since I know I get that deep, I don't walk past the pit to walk into it no more. You know what I'm saying? How many times we see the pit, but yet we walk into it and then we fucking complain that we're at the bottom of the pit again. But we seen it. We seen it. And it's just, and just keep going, right? So sometimes we do. But what's even worse is we often manipulate ourselves without being aware of it. While we manipulate others to get what we want, right? Right? When we manipulate others, it's what we want. Check how it fucking changes when we manipulate ourselves. Anybody think? So if we're manipulating others to get what we want, what do you think happens when we manipulate ourselves? What do you think? Or why do we manipulate ourselves? One or the other?
To talk ourselves out of doing something we should do or shouldn't do.
Talk ourselves out of doing something. Good. Fear. Self-sabotage. Very good.
That's a big one.
Because when I'm manipulating you to get what I want. When I manipulate myself, I actually prevent myself from succeeding. Mm-hmm. Right? And we're going to talk about how we prevent from success. Procrastination. Do you know what happened? Do you know what has to happen in order for us to procrastinate? What do you think needs to happen?
We got to manipulate ourselves.
We got to manipulate ourselves. What is a way we manipulate ourselves to allow ourselves to procrastinate?
I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yep.
Good.
It's not that important. I deserve this. Or
Very good.
Think you know it all.
Think you know it all. Good. So if you're procrastinating something, say there's something that you've been putting off, right? There's something in your life that you've been putting off, small or big. I bet if you look at that, there's something you're telling yourself that's allowing you to not do the work. There has to be. There has to be something that you keep telling yourself and keep telling it, because a repetitive thought becomes a belief. So why we're able to procrastinate as long as we procrastinate is because we're constantly telling ourselves that same manipulation. And now that manipulation, just like my manipulation when I was talking to other people, they became true to me. Why? Because I kept repeating them. So what is the thought that you keep repeating? So when we manipulate others, it's for what we want. When we manipulate self, it sabotages and prevents us from success. This is the first way we manipulate. Well, one way, right? One way we manipulate ourselves. We cut our expectations. What does that sound like? We cut our expectations. Settle in. Very good.
Selling ourselves short.
Selling ourselves short. What'd you say, Ava? Settle in?
well, I think we manipulate ourselves and say we're being humble.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Fuck yeah. Right? So we cut our expectations, and then we sell ourselves short, and we're settling. So the expectation, right? Whatever it is that you want to do for yourself, or relationships. When you first started dating, I'm pretty sure you had an image, a vision of Prince Charming or whatever the queen looked like, right? What happens when you started dating?
Dude, that was fucking slapped out of my head so fast.
But see, that's the manipulation. Because look what you did. You started doing this with men, I bet you.
What is it?
Settling.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me?
And then you started selling yourself short.
Yeah.
Because we had an expectation, right, of Prince Charming, or we had an expectation of one we want to be with, or we have an expectation of a job that we want to go get, right? We don't get it. When we don't get it, we manipulate ourselves to now lower the standards.
Wait,
Go.
I think it was, for me, I think it was more of I had this expectation of myself to become this woman that he needed.
Right.
Okay.
That's what it was. It wasn't like I had this expectation of him being Prince Charming. I could give a fuck if you're Prince Charming. It really was an ego thing for me of I am capable of being the woman that this man needs me to be.
Yeah.
And then like when that like fairy tale like delusion like got washed away and reality hit of like why am I here trying to prove that I don't even want to be this woman that this man is. This man is a child. Like
Yeah.
this is annoying. What am I doing?
Yeah.
That's when like I stopped settling for shit, and that's when like I guess I
You set the bar back up. The bar went back up as far as who you're going to date and what
Yeah,
they need to
definitely.
provide.
Yeah,
But I'm saying you
yeah.
put the bar back up. A
Yeah.
lot of times we drop the bar, right? Because we're not reaching the bar. I'm pretty sure as kids, whatever your dream was, it was probably a really cool fucking thing you wanted for yourself, right? And then what happened? We started to grow up, right? And then what happened? It started to seem like, I can't make it. So now instead of going to be the doctor, I'm going to be the cashier at the supermarket.
Reality set in.
Because I need to make money. So I'm going to lower my standards, right? By lowering our standards, do you understand what we're doing to ourselves subconsciously, though? Even though the conscious mind can manipulate me and be like, oh, I got to make money right now, right? So I can't do this to get the better job. Let me just get this right now. That's the conscious mind. Subconscious, we just lowered the standards of who we think we could be. Our subconscious is like, damn, dude, you giving up on me like that? That's how you doing me? That's how the say it again?
2 steps back. What did you say when we're doing this? We're at what we're actually doing to ourselves.
What we're actually doing to ourselves, we're lowering our standards, right? But consciously, we're telling ourselves something that's a manipulation that we believe to make it okay for me to lower the standards. So I can't become a doctor, so I'm going to go do this. That's a manipulation. Subconsciously, it's saying, damn, dude, you giving up on me like that? So now our confidence drops. So now we walk into the thing that we lowered our standards and we're fucking miserable.
So what about manifestations, Mike? What do you think on that?
I think it works in both directions. We're manifesting all fucking day long. What do you think you're doing in your mind all day long? You're creating the reality of tomorrow based on your thoughts today. You're creating the reality of who you're becoming by your thoughts today. I'm not saying you're not going to have negative thoughts. Fuck yeah, I have them all fucking day long, right? But when I'm thinking negative, what am I doing? Positive action. Positive action when I'm thinking negative.
You
What you
should
got?
always tell yourself you can do better.
There you go, 100%. What you got, Ava?
Something I noticed when I like picked the bar back up and was like, I'm going to be treated this way or I'm gonna leave, was like people would tell me now like you have such a big ego.
Oh, really? I thought they were going to say your light was shining.
No, and it was like I don't have a big ego. I just know what I deserve, and you're not giving that to me.
Only people, just my opinion, my walk, only people with ego point out ego in other people.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't say, oh, that's somebody's ego, right? I wouldn't be like, that's your ego. When I'm talking to somebody about maybe their ego, I'm going to show them how my ego looks when I'm acting like that instead.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah, because like I don't know. After like the second person had like, well, like to one person my ego was too small. I didn't have it. I needed one.
Okay.
The next person my ego was too big.
Okay?
So when that person said to me, they're like, I'm just like I have this terrifying like fear of like being a narcissist, and like it's because like I've like absolutely hated myself, but then I've absolutely thought I was like the best person ever. So like I'm just really scared to end up being a narcissist and like fucking people over because of it.
Okay.
So when they told me that, like it actually did stick with me and has like kind of fucked me up with me.
Okay.
Because like I'm not like I feel like I'm out here saying like I am better than you in every way. You're dog shit compared to me. I'm saying you're not treating me the way that I know that I deserve to be treated, so I'm gonna have to leave. And I just feel like there's a big difference, but I don't know, it like confuses me because like how, I don't understand how like people can like be so persistent with like what they want and like so persistent with their boundaries, and
Well,
they
Ava,
don't
I
get like
think-
misconstrued as like being big, like egotistical.
Yeah.
But then like how do they do that? That's what I'm asking.
So what people do, if you try to figure people out, I'll pray for you. All right. But confidence is that I know I could be better, and I know I deserve better. Ego is I am better, so go fuck yourself. How people perceive how you approach yourself is on them. And what you're telling me I see more as confidence. I see that you're better than that person that you were trying to be for him, and that you deserve better than who he is in this moment. Not him as a person, just him as who he is in this moment in his life. That's all it is. But people want to see it as ego. People are going to see shit however they want to see it. Bible says, do not seek your own understanding. Submit all your ways to him, and he will make your path straight. Right? So when I seek my own understanding, I shared it, which I'm going to go to you, Matt. When I seek my own understanding, this is what happens. When I try to figure out why it's happening, I'm first confused. Then I'm complaining. Now I'm doubting. Then I'm miserable. Then ego comes in, because ego doesn't like to feel like that. So ego is like, I ain't going to change. They need to change first. And then I'll change. And then pride comes in. It's fuck them. And I'll go do it myself. All from seeking my own understanding. So I know when I'm confused, I know when I'm complaining, or when I'm doubting, or I'm miserable. God's given me 4 opportunities before the flesh really takes over. He's given me 4 warning signs. When you find yourself confused, complaining, down and miserable, it's only a matter of time before ego's coming in. Change it when you realize that. But good shit. And thank you for sharing. What were you going to say, Matt?
No, I was just gonna say, like, able to touches on is like, you know, not necessarily putting an expectation on someone. It seems more like she's expecting someone should know what her needs are, almost, right? In a sense of
no, what my needs are. It's of like, okay, the person who told me that was in this room, and it was well known that this person is a lazier person, unmotivated.
yeah.
And I know that I deserve someone who can wake themselves up in the morning. I deserve to not be your mom.
Yeah.
That's not like
No, okay, I
that's
can
not my
understand that.
need. That's like
Yeah.
a common
What I'm
decency
trying
in
to
a
say,
relationship.
ego is through
If I'm not your
trials and
mother.
tribulations, you'll learn what you
Yeah.
don't like more than
Yeah.
what you do.
No, yeah. With my
know
like
what
my
I'm
needs,
saying?
I'm very like. It's like
Now you
everyone's
realize you
always
don't
like
want a
suffering
lazy-
a battle day like in silence, but like except for me, I'm not suffering a battle in silence. I am suffering a battle out loud, complaining.
Come on.
Loudly about it.
Come on.
Cries about battles. You're gonna know what my needs are, and if they're not being met, it's gonna be known. Like,
Okay.
But it's like my basic.
Now you know what you don't like. So you
Fuck
learn
it,
something.
I'm with it.
Now you're gonna go
You know
out
me,
don't
man.
like-
more motivated.
Right, like I don't.
I
like
love
to
a
actually
fire.
Be your mom. But I like, but because I'm fucking delusional. I like want people to think that I'm the dominant in the
Yeah.
relationship, but I'll be damned.
So that's just something that's good for you to now just internalize the fact of what you just said.
Yeah.
What you just said, I think, is probably the most important thing, because now that's self-reflection. Self-development can occur from what you just said about your realization of who, you know what I'm saying, you're portraying yourself as, is that you don't want that no more, right? Or whatever it is, or you don't want the opinion of it, so you're now going to try to change your movement so it's not perceived that way. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually very beneficial for ourselves, right? So, the reason that we start to lower our expectations is because of disappointment. We get disappointed. So we lower our expectations. We will actually take the lesser of 2 evils instead of walking into the unknown. I will take the lesser of 2 evils than walking into the unknown.
That's why I still smoke weed.
What's that?
That's why I still smoke weed.
Listen, and you guys know me, I don't tell anybody how to do this shit. If they're making you a better person and you're fucking happy, keep fucking rocking it. There'll come the moment where I think we all get to a place where if once you get to a certain place, if you're continuously working on yourself, you'll get to the point where maybe you don't want to do nothing no more, you don't need nothing no more, but that's got to be your choice. It has to be a choice because of your progression, not a choice out of fucking desperation. Let me say that again. When you choose to get off these MATs and stop the smoking of the weed and whatever ADHD medication you're on, whatever medications you're on, that society might not fucking look at you as in recovery. Fuck them at the end of the day right now, right? You get off these things because of progression. We do not get off of it because of desperation. If you do it out of desperation, you're going to fuck yourself up and get at least a week or two of not using, and your life is in fucking danger now because you go out there and do one fucking pill, you're going to fucking die. Just because of 2 weeks. 2 weeks of not using that tolerance, you will fucking die. One line, one pill, one puff, whatever the fuck it is.
And that's facts. It happened to me.
Yep.
I was getting off of Suboxone out of like desperation. I was like so sick of being on Suboxone for a long time. I had stopped taking it, and also like I was having issues with this doctor, and so like there was multiple times while he was my doctor that like things were going on. He recently got shut down by the DEA.
Oh, my boys.
Yeah,
My homies.
he had me prescribed 3 bars a day, 16 milligrams, or no, 18 milligrams of Suboxone, and then 20 milligrams Adderall 3 times a day. So I really wasn't. So when I say I was 2 years sober, I never did it. I didn't take those bars, but I still took a bar in the morning and a bar at night. So I still wasn't fully sober, and I'm like coming to terms with that right now.
Okay.
Because I wasn't doing fent. Doesn't mean I was sober, but
But you're in recovery.
yeah, but I was in recovery. I was still trying to work a program. I was just over medicated by my doctor.
Okay.
And I trusted him. But there was a time a couple years ago I was on Suboxone and I was like, I'm done with this shit. Like, he's stressing me out, and I was falling asleep at work, and I like the Suboxone was starting to fuck with my body, but I stopped taking it cold turkey, and I ended up on I only relapsed for 9 days, cut my fucking leg open, almost lost my leg because I was so high that like I overdosed, I was in a coma, I was in a coma for also 9 days. So I was like gonna die, so I would say like do not stop your maintenance meds unless you are ready.
Come on.
Unless you fully believe that like, okay, like I don't need this crutch anymore, like I can do this myself, but like still not yourself, you're gonna lean on like your fellowship, you know, but also like for the right reasons. I honestly, I genuinely am begging all of you like not to get off of it if you don't think so, because I should be dead. I know people who are dead from it, and it was the worst experience of my life, waking up in that hospital, not being able to talk, not being able to walk. I was just laying in a bed. Like, I couldn't function, I couldn't do anything because I was in a coma, and it was all because I decided to get off of my Suboxone when I was not ready. I did it for all of the wrong reasons. I also wanted to prove to myself, like, I'm doing better, like, I'm doing great now, I'm doing better. And I wasn't. I was fooling myself, and, like, it was a spur-of-the-moment decision. Like, I thought one day, like, yo, I don't want to be on Suboxone, and the next day, stopped taking it and sold all my subs. So I'm just saying, like, please, like, do it for the right reasons, because you could end up back in this room, or even worse, like you can end up dead. So I don't know, it's just something to think about.
And
I'm not like, I think if you can get sober without maintenance meds, you're a fucking rock star. I know that I can't right now, but like if you need the maintenance, just please like know what you're taking, and please be careful, and really lean on the people around you, and listen to your doctors, and listen to yourself, and like listen to your body, and like really like evaluate mental, like your mental, like if you are genuinely ready to get off of this when the time comes. Of course, there's no rush.
So if anyone knows about Suboxone, when the FDA approved it, you know, they approved it with therapy with medication.
Yep.
Right? So if there is no therapy along with the medication, we do got to understand it is a controlled true substance, right? So if we don't have therapy, we still got to understand, even though the MAT is helping us, our mental health is still deteriorating at the same time. It's kind of like chemo, right? It's kind of like chemo. We're trying to kill the cancer, but the chemo's killing us too at the same time, right? So I kind of look at Suboxone in that sense, right? You gotta use it to where it kills, the cravings and shit, and then, you know what I'm saying, because eventually it's gonna start killing you.
Because I didn't realize that when I was on Suboxone before. So I would take it, and like I'd go to a meeting at that time period. I was going to a meeting like once every few weeks, which I needed more meetings at the time. I had no therapy. I just had a doctor who was over prescribing me pills. So like I didn't really have much support that at the time I felt like I could lean on. So I was just on Suboxone and like not doing any work toward myself. I wasn't trying to get better. I was just pretty much trying to I was just doing it to get by.
That's when it becomes a substitute, one for the other.
Right, exactly. So I felt like I was replacing fentanyl
That's
and
it.
heroin with Suboxone, and I fully was. And now, obviously, I don't feel that way. I'm at a way lower
I mean,
level
at first, it's not bad if you're replacing
I
it.
was on it for like a year or 2 years.
You need therapy, especially before you're looking to even get off of anything. You should be working with a therapist because the therapist is going to help us build our mental strength, right? Because in order to get off of that, you're going to have to be mentally strong, right? Mental strength is going to have to be present because there is no way, lose the ideology that you're going to be able to get off it and not have no discomfort. There's no way. No way. So lose the idea that if you want to get off of it, you're going to be able to find a way to have no discomfort. No, you're going to fucking have the discomfort. But since we're going to have the discomfort, that's where our mental health needs to play the factor. When I'm feeling like shit, I'm mental healthily enough today to still get myself to go do it in my mind and push myself.
Also, the physical withdrawal symptoms, like if you aren't mentally strong, like the one thing that got me, like mentally, I was somewhat okay when I was withdrawing from it. Well, clearly not if I relapsed, but the physical pain is what made me relapse because one time I withdrawed off of Suboxone in jail. I was withdrawing for 40-something days.
Yeah,
Turkey.
at least 30.
So you need to taper off of it, wean yourself off, because I was laying in the showers of Cook County Jail. It's where Chicago is, like that county, so I'm in that jail on their nasty ass fucking floors, shaking and dry heaving in the shower. It's not don't get off of it cold turkey, but also like if like you're good mentally, but like you cold turkey stop it, that physical feeling is definitely gonna creep up on you and like fuck with your head.
Yeah, tapering is definitely. Would you have, Grayson? Then I go to.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with her. I had like this pretty much similar experience. I had like 3 weeks to a month where I was taking like 2 milligrams every like few days, and I was just in bed most of the time, just super sick. I just didn't care to do like anything for myself. I was just throwing up like all the time. It was freaking horrible. Don't get off at cold turkey. I personally got the shot, the suffocate shot.
Good. That's a good step.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get it one more time, I think, and then I'm gonna be completely off of it.
I've seen the most success of people going down to like 2 milligrams and then getting the shot, doing the shot 2-3 times, and then I've even seen success with people then getting the Vivitrol shot. Because I got the Vivitrol shot. So I was on methadone for 12 years, 120 milligrams, right? So when I detoxed, I went to a facility. It took me 6 months to taper. But before I even started to taper, I looked up how to create natural dopamines. Right, so in those 6 months, I was creating natural dopamines. I jogged 3 times, 4 times a week through my whole tapering process. Right, so when I got off of it, I was already creating natural dopamine. The withdrawal is so severe because the dopamines are not being toured. That's why we go back to the drug. The drug creates the dopamine. So if you look up natural dopamines, lavender scent, fish oil, magnesium oil, I prepped like I was fucking marinating a steak. That's how I started to prepare myself in treatment. How do I marinate myself? So when this happens, I'm a little more prepared or it's a little less severe. Fucking, I go to the University of Google. You have a fucking phone in your pocket. In your fucking pocket. You're going through something, you don't know how to deal with it, fucking Google it.
Information superhighway.
I'm not a fucking genius. I'm fucking a student at fucking Google. That's it. I Google all the shit.
YouTube.
YouTube will fucking teach you how to fucking put a fucking toilet in. I'm not a plumber, but I put my fucking toilet in.
Did you really?
Yeah, fuck yeah. The whole gym room, everything. I took the side, I felt like the man, bro. I felt like I'm looking in the mirror, I'm looking at my toilet. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Little things in life. Where you got Iris and then I'll go to...
So, just speaking of like Sublocade and like withdrawals as well, like I noticed when, like I tried to stay away from, like back when I was going to treatment way too fucking much. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I'm trying to stop cursing, but I can hear the cursing and it don't bother me.
Okay. Yeah, so I was going way too much and I was always trying to not like go any further than like 30 days on maintenance for subs because even tapering down my withdrawals would be horrible. And then finally 8 months ago when I came in I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do things differently this time, and I got the Sublocade shot instead.
Good.
After doing the maintenance. I haven't gotten that shot. I got 2 of the shots. I haven't gotten it in almost 4 or 5 months now.
Good for you.
And there's been no withdrawal symptoms from it.
Fuck yeah.
I'm still popping for buprenorphine though, so like
Yeah.
my receptors are also still being blocked, which is nice. Probably not as much as it
Yeah,
was.
it's probably very minimal,
Right,
yeah.
But like it's like compared to that, like the withdrawals, even coming off the 2 milligram taper, it's like
It's
there's
fucking
withdrawal
hard.
symptoms.
Yeah, now with
It's-
the Sublocade, no.
it's crazy. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to get back on it because I've been off of it for so long, and like under the recent circumstances that's kind of happened in the last place we were at, like I kind of feel like I do need to go back on
Okay.
it 'cause my craving is kind of
Getting there?
it's getting bad.
Okay.
But it's like I would definitely recommend Sublocade over
Yeah.
Suboxone if you're able to. I don't really hear it talked about that much for some reason, or hear a lot of people getting it. I hear
Okay.
most people getting like Suboxone, which like
Because
that's-
you still get a kick from the
Right.
Suboxone. I'm an
Right.
addict,
Yeah,
right?
of
So
course.
like I still look forward to that kick of Suboxone every morning, just like I look forward to the pill,
Yeah.
right? And I'm just when I was on it, or
But,
even the methadone,
yeah, if
I
you're
couldn't
able
wait to get that
I would say,
120.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're able to, I would definitely do the Sublocade because when you need to come off of it, it's way easier
Mhm.
and it still does keep those cravings down. Like maybe you're not getting that kick every day, but you're not sitting there like gripping your knuckles like, damn, I want to go do
Man.
something.
And then the Vivitrol shot, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
saved me. I did it for
yeah.
6 months before I moved to Cali. So it's not habit forming. Once you, after like 28 days, if you don't get another shot, like you can start getting high again. But it helped take away the triggers and the cravings, right? And it just gave me that little bit of a safety. But I was already working on myself. So it was kind of just like an extra blanket in a cold night, right? I was already warm, but it was an extra blanket, right? It made me a little bit warmer. I got mad, and then Ava, what do you got? You had your hand up?
So I'll just speak from me.